You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
Across the United States, preparations are underway for what is being described as one of the most massive waves of protests of the Trump era. These demonstrations are being timed to coincide with Labor Day, a holiday that, since 1882, has been observed on the first Monday of September as a tribute to working people. Yet this year, instead of simply parades, picnics, and the symbolic close of summer, the day is expected to be marked by a powerful outcry. According to recent reports, hundreds of demonstrations have been scheduled in more than 700 towns and cities across the country, reaching even some of the most remote regions. The initiative is being led by the coalition known as May Day Strong, which has chosen the slogan, "Workers instead of Billionaires," to capture the heart of the movement. That phrase alone sets the tone. It is a pushback against the growing influence of concentrated wealth, which many believe has only deepened during Donald Trump's presidency. Dozens of civic and labor organizations have already pledged support. Among them is the nation's largest federation of unions, representing nearly 15 million working people. Their involvement is significant because it means the voice of workers, from teachers to healthcare providers, from transport employees to service industry staff, will be amplified in unison. In New Jersey, for example, rallies will focus specifically on defending public education and preserving access to healthcare. Elsewhere, participants will raise demands for curbing corporate dominance and improving overall living standards. The Women's March movement has also joined the initiative, announcing a special campaign called September of Solidarity. Starting on Labor Day and continuing through September 20th, it will highlight the call for a fairer distribution of wealth and resources. Organizers are stressing that these demonstrations are intended to be peaceful. Still, history has shown how quickly protests can escalate. In July, Los Angeles saw marches against immigration raids spiral into clashes with police, where rubber bullets and tear gas were used. Subsequent protests spread through San Francisco and other California cities before reaching the capital region. That memory lingers, raising both determination among activists and concerns among authorities. What is striking is how often these outpourings of frustration align with national holidays. On Independence Day earlier this year, thousands took to the streets, despite official warnings of a harsh response. For many, those moments are opportunities not only to celebrate tradition, but also to demand accountability. The themes for September 1st are clear: the protection of workers' rights, the fight against social inequality, support for migrants, and stronger action against climate change. In short, it is a broad front of issues, all tied together by the feeling that everyday people are being left behind, while billionaires grow more powerful. Labor Day, usually seen as a final summer celebration, is now being transformed into something bigger. It is being turned into a national stage, where voices of solidarity, frustration, and hope will be carried across the country. And whether one sees it as a protest, a celebration, or both, it will surely mark this year's holiday as one to be remembered. Workers prepare historic Labor Day protests in the U.S. In the United States, a wave of large-scale protests is being prepared to coincide with the celebration of Labor Day, which this year falls on September 1st. Traditionally, this holiday is seen as both a recognition of workers' rights and an unofficial end to the summer season. But in 2025, the holiday is being marked by something much bigger: a nationwide call for change that is being described as the largest protest movement of the Trump era. The demonstrations are being organized against the growing influence of big capital, something that many workers feel has expanded significantly under the leadership of President Donald Trump. According to reports published by American media, hundreds of marches and rallies have been scheduled in more than 700 cities and towns, reaching even the most remote parts of the country. At the center of this mobilization is the coalition May Day Strong, which has chosen the slogan, "Workers before Billionaires." The message is simple but powerful. Ordinary people should be prioritized over corporate wealth and elite interests. Joining the initiative are dozens of social and labor organizations, including the largest federation of trade unions in the country, representing around 15 million workers. Different regions are expected to focus on their most pressing issues. In New Jersey, rallies are being prepared around the defense of public education and healthcare systems. Elsewhere, banners will call for curbing the power of corporations, increasing wages, and ensuring a better quality of life for working families. In parallel, the Women's March movement has announced its own series of events under the banner September of Solidarity, beginning on Labor Day and continuing through September 20th, with a message urging fairer distribution of income. It is not the first time protests have coincided with national holidays in the U.S. Earlier in the summer, thousands of people had taken to the streets on Independence Day, despite warnings from the president that strict measures might be enforced. Those July demonstrations in Los Angeles escalated into clashes with police, where rubber bullets, tear gas, and flash grenades were used. The unrest then spread to San Francisco and other Californian cities before reaching across state lines, including the nation's capital. For this Labor Day, organizers are emphasizing that the planned actions are intended to be peaceful. The core themes highlight protection of workers, rights, resistance to social inequality, support for migrants, and urgent climate action. These issues are not only political talking points, but daily realities for millions of families who feel the weight of economic pressure and environmental uncertainty. Labor Day has been celebrated in the United States since 1882, always on the first Monday of September. While the holiday began as a day to honor the contributions of workers, in recent decades, it has also become a moment when social justice movements choose to raise their voices. This year's demonstrations, however, are expected to be remembered not only as a day of recognition, but also as a turning point in the struggle between working people and the influence of wealth and power. Stay subscribed for more videos.